And we are live. Happy Monday, welcome back to a little bit of a vintage stories stream today, as we are sitting here on top of our windmill, overlooking all the hard work we put in the past few in-game years, as winter slowly begins to settle in to our little hilltop abode. The reservoir lakes are already freezing. The harvests are complete. And we are ready to start the day, I think. Let's go ahead and climb off our perch. Work our way down past the sables that we built in the last episode. I went ahead and changed out the door in between streams to a 3 tall. I just think it's kind of seals up the building a little bit better than what we had before. Simplified some of the wood trim along here as well. Hey Hans, how's it going, bud? We got our cool little hatch still working. Added some side windows to each side of the stables. Nothing too major really has changed between then and now. You can see all the berry bushes or fruit trees are now dormant for the year. And hopefully come next spring we'll have some pears and potential apples to fill our gullet. Over this way we got some minor changes that I've been working on with the bridge over this brook. I went ahead and made this more plank like in nature, with the support beam kind of arch across. I am going to take this stone all the way up to the planks, by the way. I just need to find some time to do that. And then we'll add a couple wooden support beams just holding up the side arches. That way the planks just kind of feel more slotted into the sides and everything, but it makes it feel a little lighter, I think, with being able to see through the wood. If you sit at the top here at the edge, you can dangle your feet and enjoy the little waterfall that's here. Another thing that I've been working on between streams is this. This is going to be the main path out of our settlement now. Been building it a lot in packed dirt, just to kind of get things settled, right? I think we laid out a little bit of this bridge last time. And I've been playing a little bit with road design. It seems there's this dirty gravel variance from plain to stony and cracked. So I'm going to have kind of a really kind of cracked, dry dirt gravel road, and then it will transition via chiseling into a claystone gravel edge, which I might even chisel the grass partly into this as well, so that we get a little bit of a smooth transition from path to back to nature and plants and things. You can see how much I've kind of dug out and placed down. These gravel bits are not too bad to make, honestly. Not too bad to do. But it gives you a nice view of the homestead from down here as you approach. One cool view too is the fact that you can, especially if you have a spyglass, you can kind of zoom in at the bridge and waterfall, you know? In through here. Other little recent change, went ahead and made my first meteoric iron weapon. So we are using a arming sword. Came out as a epic quality, 5.9 damage. Does a little bit of a stab animation on this one. It's a little bit faster than the long sword. A little bit more to the native swing speed of weapons in the game that I'm used to. So for me, it's a little bit more of a fit. So we'll start the stream, I think, with some bee harvesting. This should be the last harvest of the year of bees. So let's go ahead and put our bag down, grab the box here, get all these frames. Look at all this honey, chat. I'm excited. Yeah, once you kind of get into the Langstroth hives, you're kind of peak production for sure. Oh, are they all getting a little different durability because I did a half harvest? Looks like it. The nice thing is these frames last multiple harvests, you know? Alright, all that's put back together. Let's pick up all the honey we got. That's a good amount of honey for one little thing. If only we had like a cool bee suit thing to wear while doing this, right? Okay, all that's put back together. Wow, all right, we got a little bit of honey on the ground here. Very good. We'll be on tonight. Your computer decided that I hated you. Oh wow. Yeah, no, I've been going through computer issues as well, so see how well everything holds up tonight. You know. So far, okay. Alright, let's go down to our fruit press and process this honey down into honey. We've got a good 10 liters of honey right here. Look at all that goodness. More liters. So it looks like we are getting a good amount, which kind of sucks because tonight I got to stay up all night to prepare for your job. I want to pick it up from the computer place in the morning. What are you starting a new job or something? Like when someone says they're going to prepare, that's how I get bears from the honey, or from Danjal dying to the Eurasian cows. Yeah, it makes me think you're getting a new job as honest. Or you're going to some sort of work function, honey. Okay. Alright, let's go take these upstairs. Uh-oh. We are full on honey. I need to make a new barrel. Schedule flips every Monday and Friday, night shift life. Oof. Yeah, no, that's kind of how Ashley's schedule goes. You know, she'll work kind of open part of the week and then the next part of the week close. Saw a nature documentary about it with a bear named Pooh. Good old Pooh Bear. 312s. Oof. But hey, you know, at least you get a 4 days off, right? Alright, new barrel. 6 to 6. That's a shift. Nice. Should I seal this and make it into mead? How good is our mead? Could make mead into... aquavitae, though. How about honey? Can I make honey into, peanut sauce, honey yogurt potion, honey gelatin. Ooh. Muffin dough, fruit dough. So if I make honey gelatin, I can, make that into my bread? Instead of water, right? Inputs, raw gelatin, which is pre-gelatin, bone, and water. Pre-gelatin is bone broth potion. A lot of cooking options that I just never really explore in this game. You could, you know, this is the advantage of if you live with a group like Athenia, right? Like, they can actually take some time to do some advanced things that they want to focus on. And I'm over here just like, nah, let's just live off bread and basic wine, you know? The true native diet. Though right now I'm eating a little bit of my red meat peanut stew with boiled scallions and parsnips. So that's been tasty. Very tasty. Oh, we have expanded the family. So Pancake and Waffle here ended up having a child named Hash Browns. So, or home fries, whichever, however you want to say it. But we're up to 3 dogs that we're gonna need to do something special for. I'm thinking about actually turning them into some taxidermy. We have the ingredients to do this, and I think it's worth doing. So we're gonna turn our dogs actually back into dogs. You know? I think they're all gonna cost the same. So we're gonna need some clay or borax. Let's pick everyone up. Come on, everyone into your carriers. Store this out of the way. Man, I'm almost full up on honey. Can I use honeycomb for anything specific that I haven't yet? Candles, silver thread. Ooh, fancy clothes. Gilded thread, super fancy clothes. Storage vessels, of course. Wax seals, candles, sturdy leather. Nothing too crazy, it looks like. I need to make one of these, though, for my bees. I gotta have a bee sign, chat. Gotta have a bee sign for our bees. The letter B, true. Danjal, man. It's a rough life over there. Alright, so let's get 3 nails. 3 pieces of glass. I think I need 12 clay bits. 12 clay. We need our borax and 3 strip logs. Actually, no. If I'm going to strip them, I should probably use oak for the bark. I feel like I'm missing one. Yep. Okay, strip logs acquired. And then borax. Where did I keep my borax? Here we go. Alright. So, borax. Glass. Log for the frames. Pelt. Hammer. Knife. Clay and nails. Just tack it all together. With my boar and axe. Ba-dum-tsh. I need Kate to ring the bell. Kate, are you online? No. Wow, okay. Abandoning the community. Alright guys, here we go. We get to see Pancake in all its glory. Look at Pancake, guys. Pancake is no longer Pancake. Here's Waffle. Or, no, yeah, that's Waffle and hash browns. What have I done to Pancake? I have freed Pancake from the shackles of being on the ground. I could have sworn there was more poses for some of these, but there we go. We got our dogs. Fetch. Yeah, well, you know, one day. We'll figure it out. Making squirrel displays? Of course. Of course. Alright. Dogs have been upgraded. Honestly, I think we'll end the stream there. Thank you guys so much for what? No. Okay. November temperatures mild today. Last year it was like -9 in the beginning of November. What? Alright, we need some more strong tannin. Let's grab 44 oak. Or 40 oak. Bark. By the way, Dark, I've been watching a little bit of Rubik's Raptors stuff since you mentioned it. It looks like a pretty fun server. More fun than the Uwu server. I don't know. They don't have cave-ins turned on, and that bugs me. And a medium temporal storm is approaching. Praise Dave. Alright, so that's going. That's good. I want... Yikes, no cave-ins. I know. I know. Cave-ins make everything so much more fun. So, something that I need to do is we need to make some saddlebags for hunts. So we're gonna need some brown thread for this. Almost like playing closely with friends is fun. I mean, well, there's that, but also like just the challenge they have in the general rule set, I think, is fun. I like the idea of, you know, forcing people to trade a little bit more. 4 nails all. Bring the nails up here. Something else I want to make too, a Cartwright blueprint. So there's just this caravan blueprint. There we go. Narrow cart. Yeah, wouldn't mind getting a narrow cart. A spoked wagon wheel. Oof. Oof. Can only use iron. Yep. Okay. I don't know who Beaver is. Oop. I mean, this season's gonna last definitely a while longer, especially with 1.21 now out in public. I really want to see if we can update to the latest release at the end of next month. Well, I know he's gonna be another like streamer, YouTuber. Can you? I would hate to play Vintage Story on like a mobile device, but I hate to play anything on a mobile device, so that probably lends to my opinion there. Heck of a time finding 10 on your server, yeah, that'll happen. It's so weird to see the dogs in 3D. Do I just want to bite the bullet and go for the whole cart now? I've never made one of these carts, and I feel like it would be kind of cool to have at least one. Right? Pretty expensive, though. Let's make some nails. And then maybe do another fire of copper ingots. Which I think I have more ingots to crack open in here. This hammer, by the way, I'm saving to sell. Which would be kind of cool to have like the caravan to like and just fill it up with things to trade to vendors and then do like a big trade run. Oh yeah, no, for sure. I love that vendor stories getting so much attention from groups and people who seem to, you know, really enjoy the challenge of it. And while I very, very much enjoy playing Vintage Story, and I'll always be playing Vintage Story, you know, just a little bit of the growth my way would be nice. No, I'm good. I'm good. After the sad news of Hightail, yeah, Hightail was quite, you know, it's not a surprise. Like, they should have been in early access at least 2 years ago, I think. They had the hype for it. They really did. By the way, look at how much meteoric iron we're up to now, chat. Look at all this stuff. So between streams, I went on a little bit of a trade run. I went down to Reds. And instead of going up to the Athenia teleportation network, I wanted to head there by foot so I could explore the region south of us. But also, the nice thing about heading there on foot, there's some pretty cool ruins down here. You know, I was finding some meteoric iron spots, especially in this big plains area where you can really clearly see circles and things in here. So, like, for example, let's see if we can see another meteoric iron spot potentially in here. Honestly, this might be one, just because of how circular it is at the end. Set there. This one could be one too. Right there. So you're just looking for kind of basically perfectly circular, as much as possible, spots in the ground. You dig down, you get that. But yeah, there's even one here that I found. But yeah, we traded with Red. So that was cool. Red wasn't there at the time, so I really traded with General. Another thing that I'm slowly getting focused on is repairing my clothes and no longer wearing my armor out and about. I do want to find a new coat. The fur coat's a little clashy, but this is currently the looks that I got going on. I have this little dagger belt. It's pretty cool, I think. We got Squire shoes, so some cool big leather shoes. This little miner's jacket hood, which is nice, and a little badge hanging out here. So, you know, the look is kind of coming together. I'm a little bit peasantry looking, for sure. But little do you know, take off the hood, and I am a king. We would like to get on one of those servers to show off what a high detailed building can be in VS. Those channels are obviously capitalizing on the success of the self-realization simulation videos, games like Minecraft and Ark get on YouTube. Yeah, that is true. I don't overly like those civilization video things. I think they're pretty meh, for sure, in my opinion. But I understand the appeal, for sure. Like, I used to play on, like, a very rule-heavy Minecraft server. It was called HeroCraft. And there was custom classes, RPG classes. People could claim territory and go to war with other factions. It was very cool. I very much enjoyed that, especially with the open PvP. That was fun. Like, PvP is allowed on this server. I know there's a claim. This was like a different system. There was like a taxation system, so like you couldn't claim much, if any, territory really, at all, until you formed like a kingdom. Oh, you know, you've killed Blink many times. Hey, PvP's... You're allowed to do it. Technically, there's nothing... Outside the general rule of griefing, so like... You know, don't destroy other people's builds and things like that. And don't make someone's experience literally a living hell. Like, someone can... On our server, people are allowed to rob from each other. You're allowed to do that. Our community is super nice, and they don't. But there's nothing in the rules that say you can't. As everyone rushes to build blocks. Hey Fox, hey Jack. Welcome back. Don a green suit and a bow and a highwayman, right everyone? There you go. Just sit outside at Uthania, they have the most stuff. Throwing mushrooms in wells allowed? Probably not, due to it being a little glitch to reestablish a well right now. That would be almost on... That'd be on the... You know... griefing aspect, I would say. But if wells were able to be replaced before we updated like that, then I probably would have found it funnier than not. Personally. Please try to rob from us. Alright. We'll see. I mean, you guys try and give everything away anyways. It's not like... Robbing from Uthania is like, hey, give me your stuff. And they're like, okay, we have enough of it. How much do you need? That's how you rob Uthania. Give me your steel plate armor. Sure, how many sets? And what do you need to buy now? Okay, it's done. Sure. What was that? Did I lose the stream for a second? Hello? Everything's good? What about hunting barrels in your base? Throwback to V-Rising? True. Allowed, I think. Here's the thing, right? So, like, if you're wearing, let's say, what, Green Witch armor. This gives, I'm gonna give you guys some PvP advice here, right? This gives 0 magic protection. So, like, if I hit you with some strong spells, it's gonna suck. And then if you're not a mage and you can't switch to mage armor, then that's gonna be a little rough. And if you switch to mage armor, then I'll just switch to sword. Like that's kind of the strat, right? But I'm so far behind tech-wise. Mage counters sword, counters mage, true. Don't mind me, just gonna hide inside for a little bit. I moved some of our lore things, by the way. Went ahead and made a little bookshelf and a scroll shelf for any loots that needs to go in there. Will have elemental resist spells I cast before putting on your plate on. True. You can do that. Did you spec into any specific mage thing, Dark, or did you just stay generic? Alteration? I'm assuming that's buff heavy. Grants slow upward movement. Mark of the Zephyr. That's interesting. There's a gun mod, yes. A flintlock mod specifically. Hey, Lewis. Look! Our dogs have shape to them. Look at those good boys. Praise Dave. Praise Dave, indeed. Yep. I'll tell you what, when you get to a tier 3 mage and you actually have a selection of spells, that's when you're very, very powerful for sure. Agreed. You just have to grind that out. I still haven't made even a crucible. Yeah, very temporally stormy. How to get them from spawning inside your house? It's still based off light level and also available surface spot to spawn on. So I think the hide flooring helps with that. They have kind of down, and then just the general light level. Yeah. I don't remember if we installed the mod that kind of forces at least some sort of radius that they can't spawn in during a temporal storm. I don't think it's very fun to have one just spawn on you, you know? But it helps that I'm in like a sealed room, you know? Because if they were spawning in there, then I'll just make like a danger closet. Hey, Pancake. Hey, Waffle. Hey, Hash Brown. Alright, made some nails, which is good. I need to get some iron hoops. I'm going to need 4 of them. And we're also going to need... Actually, we only need 3. And then that many iron nails. About 1886. You know, again, there's if you go look, you can find the flintlock mods. It's with the combat overhaul stuff. But you know, guns are way older than 1886 for sure. So depends on what you mean by a gun sometimes in these situations. Let's go get some charcoal here. Gonna have to eventually chisel these out. World War I around? Oh, okay. Yeah, no guns like that in the game that I know of. Mainly because the tech, you know, is just not there, right? There's no machining tech, really, so. Get bind affinity, which is at your spawn point, and try to see if that's infinite. Bind affinity, which is... Oh. Instead of temporal 3 respawns? Yeah, no idea. You guys are very much beyond the limits of which I've explored with Rustbound Magic. Like, shoot, I am living on a humble little farm. You guys are living in a elven estate and town. Yep, the RNG gods can be cruel sometimes. Very, very cruel. I wish some of the older Rustbound rituals were there. Yeah, give it a whirl. Alright, I needed a hoop. Summon corpse and drag it home and revive it and see what happens. Wow, now you guys are just messing with necromancy. That's a bold strategy. Classic elves messing with powers beyond they should be. Please. What could go wrong? Nothing, I don't think. It's a solid plan. Nope. You guys will be fine. Server's A-okay. You know, like I said, you know, we'll just see how it works out for him. It's a bold move. Please don't summon Saruman. What's the lore behind the dark elves? Are we talking D&D like Loth and Drow and the Underdark dark elves, or a different kind? Because there's, you know, it depends on what you mean by dark elf. I personally like the lore of, you know, the Driss Steward and kind of stuff with the Underdark, and it's kind of like what I think of when I think of Drow. Don't tempt Slanesh. Forgotten Realm server would be cool, though. In my humble opinion. Like, you know how they're doing that, you know, 10-year-old project to create all the Middle Earth in Minecraft? They should do that for the Forgotten Realms series. That would be kind of cool. The Underdark alone would be pretty crazy to see. Alright, there's all the iron hoops we need for our wheels. Now, we just need 2 sets of 8 nails and strips. Might do these one at a time. Maybe faster than trying to time 2 worms with the forge. Am I ever gonna build a Hellhammer? Is everyone just constantly asking, wow, Uthris, why do you suffer so? The answer is, I really like blacksmithing in this game. It is fun. It is fun. It is fun. Blacksmithing skills, do you really need almost the same amount of time to micromanage the hammers? It just saves your finger, honestly. Like, it's probably a good thing to do. Oh, finally, bloomery expert. I mean, with X skills, it is nice that heavy hits do this, and then heavy hits move voxels into the correct spot. So, like, there's a huge amount of saving just in that, for sure. Fire skills will sound saying nobody bought my pottery. I never bothered leveling it up. I just don't do that much pottery. And then the potter wheel mod doesn't benefit from it, so it's hard to say. Really, the only thing good about the pottery, you can see how many less freaking blueprints there are. It's really fast potter, jackpot is kind of like the big thing. The inspiration is pretty nice, but otherwise, there's not many good pottery talents in my opinion. But it also depends on how you configure your X skills, because you can kind of change all the perks and stuff. Doesn't work in beehive kiln. Yeah. Probably because you're making a special variant. Fireclay can be a pain for some. The extra voxels help. I suppose so. Wow, legendary nails and strips. No, yeah. I know, because like when you fire something in the beehive kiln, my expectation is that you're looking for the specific color that the beehive kiln is going to offer you. And so inspiration should not work in the beehive kiln, because it's going to just function off of your desire to want a fancy vessel rather than a specifically beehive kiln vessel. You know, like, I think it's a good thing that it doesn't work in it, personally. But someone who's doing bulk rolls for fancy stuff, you know, maybe you have it toggleable would be kind of cool, honestly. That way the person doing the craft can kind of choose whether they want to roll forward or not. Okay, there's all of our nails and strips. Oh god. I need iron for a narrow cart to put it together. Fuck. How many more is that? That's another 12. So 3 more crafts and nails and strips. And then we need to get a bunch of support beams. Should I get an acacia tree cart? That could be kind of cool. So, 4 logs worth of planks. And 4, 8, 16 logs. Four logs worth of planks. 16 logs worth of splits. Take just a quick break on blacksmithing. I need to make a new tongs too. Let's grab our splitters. And in here, I'll just throw these nails, hoops, put the coal back, put these oak support beams back that I was using. Okay. Let's just do this in bulk. One day I'll make some salve or something. Acacia bark in the acacia bark chest. Alright, put this away. Go ahead and saw this down, that way I don't get confused with the plank count and beam count. So one of the reasons I kind of want one of these carts, by the way, is I think it's going to help us with the construction of the keep. In my opinion, it's gonna make sure I have materials on hand and extra inventory to like drop things off, move things around, and then eventually we might use it for trade runs. Depends. I might try and set up a fair or something, which would be cool if we had like some commons and did like some sort of fair event on the server. That would be fun? Yeah, I think so. Elk and horses, yeah. A Ren fair? No, more like like a market day, you know? Everyone brings all their stuff for market and maybe set up a jousting arena. We can do some actual horse jousting. Flea market, yeah. Mass racing content. When was that? 1932, Jer? Maybe 1916? Yeah, the state fair. We could do a horse show, a horse race. Jousting. We can do an animal show. You know. We could even do a yacht race if we wanted. Alright. Meteoric heart acacia. We need 4. Where'd my plans go? We have 4 ropes. Shoot, chat. Where did I put my cart plans? Did they disappear? Does it despawn eventually? Did I drop it somewhere? Might be in the upstairs chest. Oh, we need 6 resin. I'm 1 resin short, of course. Curse my inability to save resin up. Let's go over to the pine woods. I need to set up that orchard at some point. Alright, I think the car rate blueprint's upstairs. It is... Doop. Oh, I'm short. Oh, no. There we go. Did you update the server to 1.21? I'm having issues updating mine and basically saying .NET 8 is not installed. So with the new version of Vintage Story, you need net.8, which you can download from their website as well. So so that's a requirement to run 1.21. In addition, our server is not updated to 1.21 because we have so many mods installed. We have to wait and see kind of, you know, how all that plays out with mods. So currently we are not updating just yet. Alright, I have a download, but not sure if it's download on your control panel. I don't know, I'd say just download the installer again. for .NET 8. Pet still cause crashes. If you log out with one summoned, I would assume it would still cause crashes, yes. So do not teleport with pets, and do not log out with your pet out. Otherwise, the pet should not cause a crash, in my opinion. Alright. Next. Planks and a bunch of nails. Okay, and then the 4 wheels. Boom, boom. Ah, okay. So that's what the extra beams were for. 16 extra beams. Got those. Got our nails. Now, and then we just need 1, 2, 3, 4 resin. So let's go find 4 resin. I really don't have any resin marked. Yes, I know I can like mark up this whole tree and get a whole bunch of resin. That way over time, I don't like that part of the mod. It's very... I don't think it's good looking. The functionality is cool, don't get me wrong, but it just makes the whole area look bad. I have spiles, I just haven't driven it into any trees yet because I am lazy and I keep forgetting just about every other job that I was working on in this bloody game. Okay, 2. Three. Four. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, I guess I'm missing some beams. So another 16. I think I only calculated the 16 once. So 16 more beams. So that's going to be 4 more acacia logs. There's all the wheels. And set these to side. So I need 1, 2, 3. 3 more iron nails and strips made. Sounds about right. Minus 1 piece of iron for a new set of tongs. I'm hoping the narrowcot grows at an okay pace, you know? I wonder how many things can actually fit in this. Also, did I lose my Cartwright blueprint, or did it, do I keep it? Oh, I keep it, nice. So I could have a wooden canopy over my cart. Also, I'm gonna need probably a long cart grip and low side tent, closed woven canopy. Closed woven might be cool. Low side tent, uncolored. Woven sides, short sidebar. I'll have to really see what fits. I have no idea. I've never messed with this mod. I just know it exists and it looked cool, and I hope eventually they make it to where you can pull these things by horses and elk. By the way, Dark, you have the bag of holding spell, I think. Or whatever spell allows you to make the mage bags. How long do they last for you? Golden does? Four in-game days. That's pretty good. Oh wow, double craft on tongs would take that. Okay, get a rope. I guess 2 ropes. Yeah, they seem pretty OP compared to the Athenia backpacks, honestly. I don't know how arduous the materials are for it, though, since I've never crafted those before. I mean, compared to some mods, they're not overly OP. Need to always remember to work left to right with these heavy hits. I didn't expect to do so much blacksmithing today, though. We did. With Ace's upgradable backpacks and stuff, but I felt they were really OP. I really like the size of the Athenia backpack. I think you could make an argument for a 12-slot bag, for sure. You can make the argument for it, but I think 10-slot is kind of, in my opinion, the most balanced max backpack slot. I could see maybe being able to make like a belt or something with like maybe 2 slots on it as well, and then maybe even a bandolier with maybe 2 slots on it. Yeah, I even suggested Foreign should add like some specialty backpacks too, like a miner's backpack, a backpack that gives light but sacrifices like a inventory slot for it, or an attachment to the bags to where like, okay, it's a 10-slot Athenia backpack. Add 6 slots, but just only uses it only adds inventory for like ores. You know. Little things like that. More specialized inventory containers. It's super cool that he made a mod, though. Shame my mod is still kind of in the same state. Lumberjack hates me, though. Okay. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop. So, cart in the middle. It's on all 3 slides. Boop, 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 boop. Unfinished. Oh my god, I need more nails. Jesus. Snowing in Athenia? There you go. I'm sure it looks pretty in the snow. Where's Forn at? Is he taking a break? Did you guys burn out already? Been sick? Okay. Well, if you talk to him, tell him I hope he feels better. Didn't think elves could get sick. You sure he didn't just eat like a poisonous mushroom or something? Is he good? He's not growing snowberries in real life, is he? Yeah, see, now I don't trust your guys' cooking. Alright, well, we're kind of on hold with that until we get some more iron for the nails, which is fine. I can accept such a delay. Okay, so we got weak tanning. Let's go ahead and make this strong tannin. Boom. My garden is so desolate now. So you guys may or may not know, but I am going to change this whole outer palisade and everything. Once I get the layout done in dirt, just for the general footprint of our castle and everything, I do want to upgrade this outer wall, add a couple basic defensive turrets onto it. Not only will the defensive turrets be nice looks-wise, but they might give us an opportunity to have some extra storage inside of them, which would be good. It also gives me a chance to redo this shape here. I didn't like how it exactly turned out, so I might try something a little bit less flowing and a little bit more angular. I hope that works. By the way, is my YouTube chat working? Hello? YouTube chat? Chatters. Chatty chatters. Wake up. Lurk. Lurk. Come on. What are you guys doing? It's Monday. I know it's Monday, but calm down. You guys don't need to fall asleep over there. Jelly! Man, now I really need to build a doghouse for these guys. Yeah, pancakes in 3D now. So many screens. No, I mean, like, obviously you could still hear me. I just was making sure my browser didn't crash or something. It's hard to tell sometimes, you know? My chat rate in YouTube is 0, which is bad. That's bad analytics. Really bad. Honestly. But that's fine. We got mostly lurkers. How's this doing? Let's go ahead and replace our handle on our hammer, just so it doesn't break while we're crafting. I throw my trash into the cow pit because I'm never going inside here. It is scary in here. And I'll never be going in. But we got our first Gen 1 cow. So hopefully these two produce more females, and then this one will hopefully produce a Gen 2 female. Has anyone gotten to like Gen 5 or above cows yet? Maybe even a Gen 10 cow? Just out of curiosity. Go grab a rope. We have time. I've arrived. Where is your well? It says you're producing well water. So what's the problem? It's probably in the same state that mine is. The text is all wrong, but it is producing. Like, you can still get water out of it, right? Because if you can still get water out of it, then keep using it until you can't. The moment you can't, then I'll try and do something about it. But my well has been displaying the wrong numbers since the update, but I still get water out of it just fine. Yeah, I don't want it. I think what's going to happen is you're going to drain it, and then at a certain point, it's not going to drain anymore. That's what mine's doing. And then it'll just kind of equalize. So, you know, if the well, like I said, if the well stops producing water, like actually stops, and you can no longer get water out of it, then I'll fix it. But I think right now you should be okay. I don't think you're going to go through this much water very quickly. Unless you're using it more than drinking. I don't know. Also, I've never really been at your base. Classic chicken coop. A bigger sheep pen. Nice little homestead feel. A lot of cows. It's that much? Hey, you know. That's alright. Snoop? Snoop? You have your own pancake. Snoop, Snoop, Snoop. Jeez, that's a lot of wine. Working on a barn over here. Yeah, that'll be a good sizable one. Yeah, a nice little homestead, which honestly is I think this type of style of home in this game is perfectly suitable. Admin task complete for now. Looking into our herder. Yeah. Alright, cool. Repaired our little hammer. That's good. Put that away for now. What's Red doing tonight? Is he doing more 7 Days to Die, or does he bowl on Mondays? I think he's doing 7 days to die. Okay. Alright, 50%. Let's start laying out some stuff. Why not? You know? Okay. How do we want this to actually go, chat? Is going to be the question. We gotta build a castle. And I don't want a sprawling castle. I want a dense castle, okay? Right? So, I wouldn't mind a small bailey. And I'm thinking about building the walls for the bailey right in here. I kind of want to keep the smelting operation inside the inner bailey. I could put it on the outside and have the inner bailey start here, honestly. Let's do it that way first and see how it goes. So I want to keep using this. So if we do this, come on, why won't you place? What the? Okay, it's sprint for some reason. Man, the controls in this game sometimes. All right, so if we have it come out this way, I could angle it a bit this way. And I think some basic square tower would be cool. So there's a couple different ways you can kind of do a gatehouse, right? You can do a double tower, right? I could do this. And then just take this over this way. Right? Or, instead of a double tower, I actually have kind of a big tower, which is the pathway directly through it. So we would kind of combine these two footprints. I think a 4 wide entryway is kind of good, regardless. But this way, right, I can make the tower more narrow in some aspects. Right? Because this is technically now one tower with just an arch. Which means I could probably move this over to center it on there. To give our normal outer bailey a little bit more room. And then over here, we can do a tower. Kind of want simple square towers. Not only because this is kind of a rustic domain, I feel. I'm lazy. So a simple square tower here, which will be nice. And then let's do like a 3 slope. To kind of start connecting this back that way. Also, if we fatten up this to be just kind of one big gatehouse, no side towers needed, means I can kind of come in straight onto it, which I think will look better. In fact, I'll expand this wall out to here to do more of a one and done connect, I think. I could have a little guard tower here. Which might connect over to the actual entryway. So this will be kind of the inner Bailey space. Once we kind of mess with the terrain a little bit and get it down. See, now that I've done that, I kind of don't like that section now. What if we do a 2 angle? Into the tower? How this is going to work into the outer smithy area is going to be important, I think. And also how it looks on the map. It's going to be very important to me. Regard, it might just be better to wholesale go angle that. So I want this to kind of fit into the terrain as much as possible. That is a major goal whenever you're doing a castle. In my mind. So I would say this part of the mountain needs to come down to this level. Maybe 1, 2, maybe only 3 high. It is a tight space, and I don't have enough leeway, I don't think, to get away with making it much taller. Still could, though. I think 3 high would be kind of cool. Don't do it, bro. Get out of here. And I do want a more simple keep than I would do otherwise. So if I really only bring the keep back to here, right? That would allow me to bring the Lord's Refuge Tower about here, potentially. Which will give us a good view of the area. Man, we're back to leveling a mountain, chat. Thought I was done with this from last time, but I'm not going to do nearly as much, so I guess this is okay. Let's only level it to this next upcoming peak, and then we will slope it down until I figure out how I want to connect over to here. Yeah. And am I okay with this being perfectly flat? I think I am, because what I'll end up doing, I think I might have like some side attachment buildings hanging off of this on the either on the inside or the outside. Dick. And then I'll decide, yeah. If I just have a storage building here, kind of sloped against the, I don't know how high this wall is going to be either. I don't want anything crazy in terms of height. Let's see, how big is a story for me? A story is about 3 blocks tall. 4 if you include the floor of the next story. So I'm thinking maybe 2 stories for the wall. One, two, three. So 3-story floor, 3-story. So the wall is only going to be that tall. I think that's honestly a good size. Because not only do they have to get past the lower outer wall, you know, we are on top of a hill. The hill does, by default, add height. And then the towers will probably do 2 stories taller than that. So kind of double it. Boom, you got a tower height. So the wall's really only about as tall as our house right now. Which is perfectly fine. YouTube wants me to insert ads, guys. Are we gonna take that advice? Tell you what, that's one thing I'm happy I don't stream on Twitch for. Giving you guys an ad-free experience, so long as you have ad blocker or something. Best thing ever. Even if I was like, this was my job, I still probably wouldn't run ads. Because I just wouldn't want that to be the viewing experience. I'd rather people support via like memberships and super chats, and that would be the only, and like if I was picking up to have merchandise or something, obviously. But man, could we have some pancake merch eventually? Okay. I need 3 more of these bloody nails made. Look when that says when an ad is coming up and does community activity during like clean a bathroom right real quick. Yeah. I you know, sometimes they'll take a break or something during that as a streamer and things. Here, let's get this thing in here. Just kind of curious. I did heat that up a lot. These nails in here. I'm excited to have my construction wagon. We're going to be cooking on stone ovens. No, I don't think so because it's all oven, right? Like I don't think you can do that on an oven at all. You can cook prime meat into meals, or you can do their kind of salted healing version thing, but other than that, I don't think prime meat can be used for anything else. I could be wrong, though. I'm not known for my culinary experience. Okay, let's see if it worked. Goes in a bag slot, doesn't it? Alright, so we need to attach the grip slot on it. And we have 1, 2, 3 cargo spots. It looks like on here. Just as a test, let's go ahead and make some crates. Stick on there, I guess. Do I need a modded crate for this to work? I don't know. Nope. Alright, grip. We'll do a short, because we do have the thing. Alright, so 2 linens, coil, rope, and the blueprint. Oh. 2 ropes. Okay. Sadly not. I think long term they want that to be a thing. Currently, no. So for now, this is about what we got. So something that I wanted to test, number 1. It's not that slow. Is I wanted this bridge to be able to fit 2 carts side by side. So the question is, that's just enough, I think, if there was a little bit of a lip or railing outside this block. Also, we're starving. Okay, punching the air. Solid strategy. Please stop. Alright, stick that in there. Stick that in there. Alright. Organize, organize, organize. That's fine. So this is a blanket slot, medallion slot, canopy slot. Grip slot, cargo storage, cargo storage, cargo storage. Do I lose cargo storage when I add like a cover thing? Or do I gain more? I don't know. I'll have to test that, but see, I like this too because like if you're looking for more inventory space, this is how you get it. It's not that slow. It's slow on turning, but that's okay. Let's throw another crate on there. Can I mix wood? Since we don't have the vanilla variants? Oh, thank goodness. Okay. Alright, canopy slot. Woven canopy. Something basic, you know? We need 4 units of support beams. Looks like any color will do. Am I having do I have enough oak? At the moment, no. Let's use pine. Yeah, the moment you can hook a horse up to this, like picture that, guys. Like that'll be so cool. Lawn makers are crazy. Everything that they do. Like picture that. Okay, Hans, don't just walk off. I was showing chat. Do 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 do. Yep. Get out of here, Jeff. What the? What? What? No. Where's my last beam? Game. You have forsaken me. What the hell? Did I like fall through the world? Nope. Okay, fine. Whatever. I'll just sacrifice another log. No bark off my back. Okay. Weirdest thing in the world. Alright, and we need wooden canopy birch, wooden roof usable, or a woven roof. I'd rather have the woven roof, honestly. I think that's cooler. Alright. Stop. Jeff, you're being mean. Low side tent. High side tent. Woven canopy. Yep. Cartwright blueprint. Okay, cool. Happy days. I need a blanket. Hey, look at that. That's cool. Any other attachment points? There should be a, what's this? Tent slot. Medallion slot. I do have a medallion. Does it slot into here? Where did it go? Oh. No, that's a canopy slot. Okay. Oh no, it's right here. Guess it's a horse medallion slot? Okay. Signage. Isn't up there? There's signage and light slot. Okay. Tent slot. Is that like a side tent? Okay, here's another light slot. And another tent slot. So I can have a tent off each side, it looks like. Canopy slot. I would, but they have to have a specific recipe. It's the. Oh my god! We got so many lanterns. So it has to be the cart lantern, which I could do. I don't really have any spare lanterns right now, but nah, I just don't have any spare lanterns right now. That's kind of the problem. I could make one though. Let's grab some more food. Yeah, can you guys picture like a fair day? Everyone like pulls up with some carts. We pitch some tents, do some trading, and then head home, you know? What's the freshness of this? 19 days? Okay. Oh, God. We're banding all over the place. Let's make a lantern for it, I suppose. We can craft that easy enough. So let's get... Honestly, 6 times 3, so what, 24? Wait, 6 times 3? Wait, why am I blanking on this? It's 18. Jesus. Alright. And 6 fibers. Cows are losing their mind, chat. Plate. Doop, 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 doop. Come on, heat up. Heat up, heat up, heat up. Outer Bailey, Inner Bailey. I need to look at some reference images for some castles, I think, at some point. I'm a little out of date on my castle designs, I feel. So I can't use a copper lantern? What? Okay, cart lantern. Yeah, it just goes in the top left corner. Old cart lantern. Copper lantern. Is this broken? Oh, glass quartz? It has to be a quartz glass lantern? Nah, really? Really? Yep. Sure does. That's a little crazy. Guess I can just stick this lantern in here for now to provide some extra light, but still lame. Extremely lame. Alright, I'm just gonna make another copper plate, I guess. Good thing we made a couple extra candles. Boop, 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 boop. There we go. Okay, let's see what the old one looks like. Extinguish cart lantern. Okay, so it doesn't produce light. And then this one. Is it, how much slack is in that? Oh no, it just has that some extra patina. Okay. That's cool. Why am I messing with carts right now? Tent slot. Assuming this would just like hang a mask or something. Signage and light slot. Tent slot. Do I have a mask around? I don't think I do. I technically do. Does this work? Okay, nope. Out of curiosity, am I the first one to build a cart on the server? You guys like a sizable one, or can I fit it in here is the question. A one chest? Okay. Huh. That's derpy. Guess I could park it up here like that. Underneath the tree or something. Oh, hey, Zabri. How's it going? Miss you guys on the server this season. Hope you guys are doing well. So chat, compared to last season, how is my homestead? I think I'm getting to the point of liking this one more. Finally. I'd still like to completely rework the blacksmith, which I might end up doing. Don't know yet. Medium, low, packed. All right, let's continue kind of laying this out a little bit. After I trim it down a bit more too. It's not new with this stream if I don't start destroying a mountain, is it? I sure as heck don't think so. Tyler, dude, thanks for keeping that membership alive for 9 whole freaking months. Appreciate it. I still don't have alerts enabled. I am such an awful streamer nowadays. If things go well with this series and people really like it and I end up kind of streaming more again, or at least, you know, continue streaming like I have been, I'll actually put in a little bit of effort again, I think, into the general vibe of the streams, performance, alerts, get the chat box up again. I don't know. Some actual transitions. I may do that. If you guys are willing to support, you know, then I should be willing to improve the quality. Did I just stumble upon a quartz mine? Don't want you to get burnt out doing it either, just gotta have more reasonable with it. It's not burned out. Or not, in my opinion. It's really like... I just really don't like editing anymore. Editing kind of sucks. Doing all the maintenance on things kind of sucks. It's just... You know, I don't get much enjoyment out of it. So it's not a burnout thing. Honestly. Or maybe it is, and I'm still just burned out, you know? Removing it help? Yeah, I'm lowering it down a little bit so I can build it back up. And I'm gonna have to do it in sections because you know, I want this to kind of flow a little bit better than I've done in the past. Store some of this stuff. You know, the nice thing about building where we are is I'm actually at my base instead of having to build a second base. The last season, like the Mage Academy was so cool and I was super excited to work on it. But it was so far away from my base that it was a little bit of a pain to kind of go back and forth for stuff. So it's kind of cool that we're building a castle at the site that we settled, I think. Let me look at some potentials here. Just trying to get a idea what might look cool. I mean, something simple like that might be nice. You guys can't see what I'm looking at. I want more simple than grand. That's the goal. What era? Making it up as I go. That's the era. Initially, like when we first settled here, I was kind of doing like a Stronghold Crusader vibe. So this is kind of like a house from Stronghold Crusader. This is kind of the blacksmith from Stronghold Crusader. We were doing a palisade wall. And then I started doing a little bit more of a decorative farmland. back in here and a lot of waterworks and things. So I'm just kind of slipping back into a classic medieval style. It could be from anywhere. I mean, we do have like a Persian windmill style with the vertical blades like this, which I still need to finish chiseling, but so we're kind of mixed right now. We're very mixed. I think if I can get this to make it look a little bit more like I'm a miner lord, like a miner. You like that better than the other windmills? Yeah, it's one of the new windmills for the millwright mod. It's pretty good too. It's not as strong as like the 8-blade windmill that we have with the mod, but I think it does very well for itself. It's just direct driving my quern, which is honestly underkill. It could totally gear up, but I don't want it to do that yet. How are you and Indy, by the way, Zabri? Doing good? Hanging in there? If Zabri was on this channel, we would actually have probably 10 times more horses around in people's basements. Or, yeah, if Indy was around. So I think the goal for, or the, what you have to do when you are making a quaint castle that we're going for is that the walls are both a defensive and utility structure at the same time. Things are finally settling down, though still crazy. Okay, well, you know. Glad to hear it's settling, but hope it remains and you guys can relax. Important. Try and play again next season when that happens? Yeah. Well, the game just came out with 1.21. So we're going to be, hopefully at the end of next month, patching this server to that version. And then we'll see how much longer this season will last. I'm honestly hoping this season will last into the winter a little bit, at least. And then we'll take a break, let everyone recharge, and who knows, maybe 1.22 launch another server kind of deal. Just kind of depends. I need to get more mining XP because I wouldn't mind getting Stonebreaker and Stonecutter next. I have Pickaxe Expert, Careful Miner, Crystal Seeker. Man, Tunnel Digger sounds crazy. But I need to start getting these so I can start getting rocks and smooth stone when I do this. The quarry mod is obviously still the most efficient way to kind of get stones, but when I'm just kind of lazy chipping away at a hillside, it's kind of nice if I could get some extra. So I'm hoping if this is going to be the wall height of this one, we'll kind of carry, you know, this is going to be the max height here. And so the towers on the outer is going to be about as, maybe about as tall as the ones on the inner in terms of wall height. And then the towers on the inner are going to be tall, like twice this. I have to see how everything layers. I want a layered castle. Very, very, like, on top of itself. I should probably make it all out of andesite. Match the naturals. Or. This would be the crazy thing to do, right? Start the foundation in andesite, right? A nice, smooth andesite foundation. And then partway up, switch layered like ogres. Exactly. And then change to a different stone type. Something that looks a little bit more like polished. Though andesite, I think, is a very beautiful rock in the game. If I were to mix one, I think limestone, honestly, might be the best. It would just make the thing very light looking, very bright. And we are near limestone. Gonna need more rubble storage. I like a dirt buffer so the nice clean stone stays clean. Kind of. It's really what it is that, like, I quarried down to the actual foundation of rock, right? And then built it back on top, and then the foundation, the color difference is, like, here is the local foundational stones, but the castle imported stones from a different quarry kind of off-site. Not like too far away. So something that I don't like about this straight wall section, and this will get fixed if we end up building a building off of it or building in the inner bailey, something like that, is just a thin wall section. Doesn't really serve much of a purpose in an inner bailey situation, I feel. Like that. Now the interesting thing is, because the outer bailey here is so vast, I mean, when we upgrade the palisade up to stone, and we get a couple towers on here, that'll be nice, but the inner bailey really isn't able to support the outer bailey at shooting things down here, with the way that our hillside's set up. Then, of course, this is a huge defensive weakness, but that's fine. Let's go eat some food. Honestly, the thing I'm excited for most on the next update is being able to use a crock from the shelf so I don't have to take it down every time. That by itself is such a nice change. Hey, Pancake. Fetch. Good boy. Okay, for now, just for ease of visualization, let's throw this stuff into here. Pop, pop. Let us potentially... up. Let's see the airship mod. There's been an airship mod for a long while. Unless this is a new one. Oh, let's see. Whip airships version 0.1.1. That's like super early. If that's the one you're talking about. If I wanted to introduce flying into our server, which we kind of already can do with like magic and stuff, I'd rather have like the Pegasus or Draconis mod, honestly. Yeah, there is already a mod for dragons at the moment. So like if we here, I'll just show you. guys, real quick. Let me change this. If I do this is the current one for dragons, for tameable mounts. So it's kind of eyeing this one at the moment. And then there is, let me see if the Pegasus mod exists. No, it doesn't. Let me see if I can find it in Vintage Story. Sometimes they link pictures in the Draconis section for it. Let's see. Green dragons, don't care. More dragons. Dragon. Blue dragon, that's kind of cool. For some reason, they're doing a badger. I don't know why. Or is this bear mounts? Oh my god, are they gonna do bear mounts too? Oh no. They might be doing bear mounts. Ow. Dick. Hold on, Jeff. I'm browsing mods. This is important stuff. Okay, we gotta browse mods. It's an addiction. I literally check the mods page every day because I'm a crazy person. Let me see here. Do they have? Where is it? Fantasy Cruiser has them. Are you talking about the dragons? Well, yeah, those are like hostile mob dragons for fantasy creatures, I think. But Draconis is the one that, if you want to actually tame them and ride them around. So this would be like the other one I would add, which would be like the Pegasus mod. Which is kind of cool. Since we already have horses. But this one I don't think is out yet. Yeah, and there's some really nice colorations too. That was like a basic one. Yep, Stargate mod. That's an old one as well. Alright, so we're at 3. This will be 4, which is the floor level. Which, just for the sake of archway. Ooh, dodge that guy like a boss. 1, 2, 3. And then this. Yeah, and we already have the translocator mod, so people can already build essentially teleporters. Alright, how... This thing's gonna be pretty dang tall. Just need to decide on how I want to do that. 1, 2, 3... Probably should add at least a footer to this to widen the base out. Gotta love building with dirt. Dirt's pretty great. So I kind of want, at a certain point, to bump out the floor here and do like a wooden ledge in the middle. So to have this be like a wooden jut. And it doesn't catch on fire. That is true. Unless it's peat, which is technically dirt, and we know in the past has been prone to catch on fire. I don't think Raptor would like that, honestly. I actually don't think this is a type of game for Raptor, even with mods. Just not. I don't think there's enough of like a narrative, I guess you could say. This could be half. I don't know. Okay, and so where am I at? Where are my floors at? So 1, 2, 3, floor. 1, 2, 3. Okay, yes, correct. So this is gonna be the height of the wall. Which again, I'm gonna put a building kind of hugging this, or I might end up bumping this out as a building in general and just kind of work it into the wall a little bit, or have it partially built on this side and hover hanging on this. I don't know yet. This wall is very sketch for me still. Hey Willow, how's it going? Good to see you. How much interior space would I have? Just the one? So this would be the floor of the tower. See, it might bump out one again. Give it like a wooden tower top, I guess. It's too open world for him. I mean, he plays plenty of open world games, like small lands and Grounded, obviously. I think it's a combination of a couple things. I think it's the lack of an immediate story, the how difficult it is as well. If you're just trying to like hop into a game to play, you know? Yeah. I just don't think it suits his streams, I guess you could say. And if it doesn't suit his streams, then he's not gonna really play it, which is fine. You know, streaming is his job, right? Like, he doesn't have to like or play any game that doesn't pay. Yeah, this is gonna need a lot of work to try and make it make sense in my head here. And trust me, it's not the overly blocky nature. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3. Or anything like that that's like making me not like this gatehouse. It's just I can't see all the little details quite yet in my head. So I'm just stuck building with dirt until something really kind of clicks with me here. I definitely don't like how that joins. What you're building? I'm trying to come up with how I want our castle to start looking like. I think it's just too wide. Like if I made the outer wall really just right here and just had the gatehouse go the gate directly through it, call it a day, you know? I could thin it out this way. Oh, this is gonna take forever. I like how a lot of people are like, man, Uthris is so good at building. I'm confident that I can build things, for sure. But also at the same time, I'm kind of like, it's a lot of trial and error. I do not get this in one go, as much as people think I do. It can be a struggle, for realsies. So I'm just kind of waiting for that aha eureka moment as I'm messing around here. This is a lot easier to do if I was in creative mode, by the way. Like I could just throw down a whole bunch of rough areas. Yeah, I think I'm gonna like this, the more narrow tower, I think. Oh, and yeah, don't even get me started on the material types we're going to use for this, because... Ooh, that's a long ways off, too. And how much chiseling do I want to do on it? Alright, what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wish I could have finished. Yeah. Wish I could have finished mine too. I think instead of a even wide gate, we'll just do an odd wide. Actually, I'm doing that. We should really just vault this entryway though. And then we're gonna have to move this wall, because of course we are. This might be cool. I might be able to put this outer wall here on a slight angle, which would be a little bit more dynamic looking. And if we thicken it up to be a building, it could be cool to have an angled building here. So 1, 2, 3. 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. So this, for example, would enable me to have a 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. Like some sort of building tucked in here to kind of thicken up that wall. I can kind of walk in towards, maybe even have a double wide entryway into here. Though I'm tempted to make this one wider. That way it feels more like a doorway. Yeah, I like the more narrow gatehouse, honestly. It's just a little bit more elegant with our setup. Something that I want to do, because it's kind of hard to see on the map at the moment where everything is. I'm going to place this pactor a little bit. Just give me some separation here. Yep, and then a tower at the end here. I don't know what this would be, though. It's kind of in the inner bailey as you just kind of waltz in. Could be an armory, I guess. But considering it's on the outer wall, I mean, really, it's the inner wall, because they would have to take the inner bailey first. Could be an armory. Could also be a small barracks or something. Small retinue. You guys like retinues? My lord? I think that means I should flatten out this angle. I think the 45-degree angle doesn't have to be here. 45 is kind of like my default angle when I build, but I should try and work flatter angles in. Oh my god, my shovel durability, yo. So this is where I want my next tower to be. How's that as an angle? Also, does my tower have to be that inset? Can I bump it out to say here? To like really provide cover to the kilns. I don't know. Just gonna have to keep doing this until the footprint looks how I want, and so that I can get inner bailey buildings made. So let's say start it, go in 2. And we'll do a 4. then what if this is the corner? And then technically I can run the wall here. We can just replace the back of the kilns into the wall itself. I can do 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. 2, 3, 4. So we end up kind of in the same spot, just in a different way. I kind of wish I could angle the gate like that. Let's split the difference. What if we only have one angle, but instead it's just even more gentle. 6, 4, 5, 6. That would allow me to kind of stick some other things into here, if possible. Five by 5 tower, which is actually the same size as the other towers. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. Could be possible to throw another building-like structure here as well. Yeah, someone said that the ground has to be at least a specific material to work as a base for building. I don't think so. No. I don't have any peat nearby. This is just sparse grass. And fertility soil. Yeah, none of this is peat. This is forest floor. But again, I'm just laying out a shape. I'm not, you know, all the ground's going to get ripped up as soon as we've decided pallet and other things. So it's a little bit different, I would say. Okay, well that's a start. We got our awesome building cart done. We did a lot of blacksmithing today, like holy cow. Kind of broke ground on the castle, at least roughly. We'll see. Between episodes, I'll probably end up working a good bit more on the castle kind of dirt layout that we got going on. I'll probably stream again maybe Thursday this week. Don't know. Until then, thank you guys so much for watching and hanging out with us as we've been playing some Vintage Story. I'll go ahead and make sure you guys have a place to land after the stream. Let's send you over to good friend Dirty Sess. Give him a new will, say hello, and he'll raise some glasses. He hates me though. Freaking dirty. GG. If you enjoyed the stuff, become a member today. Subscribe for more creative goodness such as this. And we'll see you guys in the next one.